Welcome back, everybody. I'm gonna make a quick video here for some power subwoofer tricks and tips. First, I'm just gonna show you how I'm running my subwoofers first. So that is the Y adapter, and if you have a Y adapter, you want to run both of them into the red and white analog inputs, so that way you can utilize your subwoofer wire. So one of the tips is when you run your power subwoofer wire, put it into a Y adapter like this and put it into the input of the red and white. And if you don't have a Y adapter, you put it on the left. Okay, but if you have both, if you have Y adapter, you put in the red and white. So yes, right now currently I'm running 3 powered subwoofer, and yes, that is overkill, but at the same time I like to run one of my subwoofers. I like to run it all the way low to the minimum, and I like to run the second one to like 80 Hertz, and I'll run like the third one in LFE, which is the max. It'd be 120 Hertz and above. And also I like to keep the bass evenly throughout the living room. And if you do not have a Y adapter, make sure you run your one power subwoofer wire into the left channel, which is the left analog white one input on your power subwoofer. And as far as your phase go, it depends on how it sounds to your ears. Usually I keep my phase at 0, and of course the low pass crossover, that's up to you. And if you do not have, if your receiver only have one output from the power subwoofer wire, and you want to run more than one subwoofer, you will have to get the Y adapter that is for here, let me show you. You would have to go get this Y adapter right here, which is a male to 2 females, and this Y adapter is it's a female into what is it? It's a female into 2 males. Okay, so that is the other Y adapter, and whether you have 1 or 2, you want to get a Y adapter that you can hook up from your power subwoofer wire into the female and to the 2 males, which inputs into your power subwoofer. But if you do not have an output from your receiver that can do 2 subwoofer outputs, you get a Y adapter that is a male into 2 females, and then you would run power subwoofer wires from 1 female and the other female into your two power subwoofer. So that is the tip for the Y adapter. I have the Yamaha receiver, and well, I can't go back there right now, but it has two outputs for Y adapters. It has two outputs for the power subwoofer, and so I don't really need this wire here to run two subwoofer. It has an output for running two power subwoofer, but I know it's overkill. I use one of these on my one of my outputs to run two subwoofer on one output, and the other one I just run straight from the back into the power subwoofer. Now, if you have power subwoofer wires already, or if you need, usually power subwoofer wires are good to have because you can run it pretty long. You can run it pretty long to the back of your power subwoofer. But if you don't have, if you need the length to be pretty long like I do, then you're gonna, if you don't have one, you're gonna have to go get a power subwoofer wire. They're pretty cheap anyway. But let's say you don't have a power subwoofer wire, and you don't need to be long. You don't need to be a long distance like I have. So you can use any coaxial wire. You can use any coaxial wires, the same coaxial that you would use to run audio on your receiver. And the coaxial wire, right? So you got the optical and you got the coaxial. So this is just a regular coaxial wire that for audio, but you can use this, any coaxial wire, to run your power subwoofer if you don't need to buy a long one. And another reason why my other tip is, so see, I have these power subwoofer wires here, this cheap RCA brand here, even though it's gold plated here. Even though it's gold plated, the problem is sometimes it gets distortion here, and depending on the weather, I guess, or the density of how the weather is, or the humidity in your room or your house. And sometimes what they do is, it's the connection between this and your power subwoofer will start to make humming noises. So if you ever get humming noises, obviously if you go ahead and like touch it, then it'll like stop the humming noise. But a lot of times the humming noise come back and it's really annoying. So I don't know if you ever had cheap power subwoofer wires that does that. I'm pretty sure nowadays they make better ones where that doesn't happen. But that's the reason why I found that this is the reason why I went to this coaxial wire, where it take care of the humming noise, and it works just as good as the power subwoofer wire. So that's how I came about why I resorted to this coaxial wire, and it works fine, and there's no humming, and it's a good hack, you know. So that is it, fellas. Just a quick power subwoofer wire tips and tricks, and how to better utilize your power subwoofer wire. And remember, that is if you don't own a subwoofer wire, and if you don't want to spend money on a power subwoofer wire. But nowadays the power subwoofer wires are cheap and they're long, and it's worth getting a decent power subwoofer wire. But at the same time, if you don't need the length to be that long, and you don't want to waste any money, this coaxial one here will do the trick. And that is it for this video. Just a little quick video. Thanks for tuning in. Hooded Dragons out.